doing this afternoon. Wanted to talk about a few key points of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, otherwise known as the FFCRA. So a couple of points I want to speak on this afternoon is the FFCRA is in effect, or it was in effect as of April 1st, and it will continue through the end of the year. There is a current grace period that is ending on April 17th, and that is a little added protection, and it gives employers time to get their bearings straight on this and to get a policy in place. And if the employer is acting reasonable in good faith, there is that grace period where no action is taken. However, after April 17th, that grace period ends. Employers must provide and post the FFCRA Department of Labor poster to all employees. The FFCRA covers all private sectors for employers with a headcount of 1 to 499 employees, all public agencies, regardless of headcount. This also includes your full-time, your part-time, and your temporary employees. They're included in that headcount, and they're covered by this act. The FFCRA, for employers, you may not require employees to use paid leave during this time or interfere with this leave. Employers are encouraged to ask for documentation for leave. This could be something such as a doctor's note, a statement from a daycare or childcare provider that they are closed due to COVID-19. Payroll tax credits are available for all monies paid out under this act. There is a provision for small businesses as an exemption. Employers with fewer than 50 employees, and if the employee's leave is to care for a child's school or daycare or childcare provider that's unavailable, and if paying out this leave jeopardizes the viability of the business, then that business may be able to file for an exemption. The FFCRA has two key elements. The first one we're going to talk about is the emergency FMLA expansion. In order for someone to be eligible for this, the employees must be employed for 30 days. They must be on your payroll 30 days. This is to care for a minor child when daycare school, a daycare provider, grandmother, friend, whoever keeps the child is closed or is no longer able to care for the child due to COVID-19. It's a total of 12 weeks of partially paid leave. The first 10 days is unpaid, but the employee can substitute the emergency paid sick leave that we'll talk about in just a minute, or they can ask to use their own paid sick leave. But again, the employee must ask for that. The employees will receive leave for the remaining 10 weeks at 2/3 of their pay. And this pay is capped at $200 a day. Also under the FMLA, it provides job protection and benefit protection. And if you're an employer that's already under the traditional FMLA, if the employee has exhausted their 12 weeks of FMLA, then they are not going to be eligible for the emergency FMLA. So let's talk about now that second element of that. That's the emergency paid sick leave. All employees are covered regardless of their tenure. So they could have started March 31st, April 1st, they're eligible. It provides 80 hours of paid sick leave, paid at different levels depending on the reason for leave. It is prorated for your part-time employees, and the leave is capped for the reasons on the next slide. There are 6 reasons or 6 ways an employee can take emergency paid sick leave. The first 3 points is for the employee themselves, right? So if they're ordered by state, federal, local order to quarantine, advised by a healthcare provider to quarantine, or if they have symptoms of COVID-19 and seeking a medical diagnosis, for all of those points, is paid at 100% of their regular wages, and that's capped at $511 a day. For items 4, 5, and 6, those are all going to be paid out at 2/3 of their wages and capped at $200 a day. And that's if they're caring for an individual who's been ordered to quarantine or who has symptoms of COVID-19, or again, caring for that child whose school or daycare is closed, or if the employee is experiencing any other similar conditions. Again, all of those 4, 5, and 6 are paid at 2/3 of their wages. So for any additional help, please reach out to our help email, and that is askjones@jones-insurance.com, or you can call the main number at 919-772-0233. Thanks.